Biscuits with the gravy. That's a good thing we didn't miss today's breakfast. Alright, we gotta check out of this hotel now. Today is gonna be... Oh, by the way, good morning.
You forgot to say that.
So rude.
So rude.
Good morning.
We are still in this hotel in South Glen Burnie, Maryland, but we gotta meet our shuttle driver down here. We told the shuttle driver we gotta go to the Baltimore airport, which I think is a free shuttle for us. That's versus paying 20 bucks for a lift. And they offer a free shuttle for people that travel to the airport, which we're going to the airport not to take a flight, but to take a train, so we can take the train from there to Washington, D.C. We still got to figure all that out, but we don't have our van anymore. Good morning, Luca. So we have everything packed up in our backpacks and our bags.
And look at it goes together like this.
Yeah, it has a lock. We got 3 of these duffel bags that we put stuff in that we're going to need for the next 2.5 weeks. We had this collapsible duffel bag. I don't know if it's going to be sturdy enough. Hopefully we don't need to use it, but this is one that we can pull out as a secret weapon. We got a backpack for Yoda. This is I think it's an airline approved backpack.
Feel how soft it is.
Another duffel bag there. Right now we just have for a litter box in this. We'll probably just chuck it before we fly.
You should have bought a new one.
Well, we can still buy a new one at the next place. Kids' backpacks. Make sure we have everything from this room because we've got to go downstairs now.
Yeah, there's a whole there's popsicles and everything in the fridge. Like
There's
a whole fridge full of food.
I know.
We could leave it for the next person.
Yeah, look at this fridge full of food.
We'll leave it for the next.
Big waste.
There's even kimchi.
So sad.
Kimchi. There's 2 bags. If there's ice cream, there's pop stickers.
I know, we can't. We don't have a refrigerator.
Pesto.
There's like a steak thing.
Steak.
There's a pack of like ribeye steaks. Really sad. We didn't plan right. We didn't eat the food that we're supposed to because the weather got so crazy.
Hopefully it's for tomorrow's breakfast.
We'll see. Well, we can't take it.
Is there gonna be a
Are you sure we can't take it?
like tomorrow's breakfast at the
If
hotel?
if you pay $100 for Uber, we can take it. But otherwise, is that worth extra $100?
I don't know. I don't even know if we can get there in the $100 Uber. Uber. We'll need an Uber XL, which is gonna, let's see, Lyft. Lyft XL.
Make sure she doesn't go behind the bed.
$98.
How much is your ribeye steak worth? And our
About
cheese?
20 bucks, but it's old anyways. So this would be exciting to learn about the public transit system here between Baltimore and Washington, D.C., right? Right. This is how we were going to travel to Europe, like this. Everything that we have with us.
Everybody needs a seatbelt.
How you guys doing today?
Good. It's gonna rain, huh?
Yeah, we getting ugly weather.
Is it? Maybe it'll cool it off a little bit.
Where you guys from?
We're from California.
Oh yeah? What
Yeah.
part? Kind of sound like you're from California. I got cousins in West Covina. I think.
Yeah? West Covina is like 20 miles away, maybe?
Okay.
Actually, our friends live in between us and West Covina in Rancho Cucamonga.
I gotcha. So what brought you out here just to see your camper?
We drove our camper from there to here, and we were shipping it out of Baltimore to Europe to travel for a couple years, and then we're flying out of D.C.
Wow.
So today's our moving day. We're here now at the BWI rail station, which is under construction. I had to go buy the ticket over there in like this temporary building. And just so happens that it's also raining. It's the first time it's rained since we've been here. I'm not complaining because it's actually making the temperature nicer for today that we're out, not in an air-conditioned room. But it is making transporting all of our stuff very difficult.
Yeah.
Heavy. I see a train coming. That's not our train though. It's not our train. So this Amtrak train right here is also going to Washington, D.C., which is where we're going. You hear that? Thunder. Except this train is like almost $60 a person because it's the Amtrak. But the next train that's coming, that'll be our train. That is the MARC train. I forget what it stands for. Something Maryland area rail something. But that's the train we're going on. It'll take us also to Washington, D.C. and it's $7 a person. So for 5 of us, it's 35 bucks to go from here to Washington, D.C., which is actually pretty reasonable considering how far of a drive it is. Except we need to be in Alexandria, which is going to be another train ride potentially from there to Alexandria. So we'll see how far and how expensive that costs. So far it's 35 bucks. Had we taken a lift to go from here directly to the next hotel that we're staying at, that was gonna be like $110. And on top of that, we have like a fridge full of food, which probably cost us like, I don't know, 50 bucks that we're abandoning because we can't carry it with us. Marlene says had we gone with a lift, we would have been able to take all the food. We'll get there in an hour or so. This whole travel day may not end up saving us necessarily any money, but it'll be a good experience. I hope. It'll be one to remember. So just doing some quick math here on the cost of this travel day. I mean, I like to think that we were probably gonna get rid of all that food anyways, right? It's not likely we're gonna be able to make anything to eat with that pesto.
Right.
It's not likely we're gonna, well, we'll probably eat the hot dogs. That's just a few bucks.
Yeah.
The big things are like the sauces, the steak. Steak was like $25. Probably would have gone bad either way because I think taking a lift would have taken like a good hour and a half too. Disregarding what we're losing in the food that we gave away, I think we're still going to be pretty close to about paying the same thing. Once we get to Union Station in Washington, D.C., we'll have to walk a few blocks over to another train station, which doesn't make sense to me. Why would Union Station have all the trains go there? But we'll find out when we get there. And we'll walk over to the other MARC train station, which is going to let us go on the yellow train that would take us south into Alexandria. I think presumably under the Potomac River, and it goes by like the Pentagon, and it goes around over to Ronald Reagan Airport, and then from Ronald Reagan Airport it goes to Alexandria at the station about a mile away from where our next hotel is going to be. More likely than not, we're going to take a lift from there, which I looked, and an estimated time and cost for a lift to go from the station is like $7. So I think this is our train. We're ready. All right, now we're on the train. I'm not exactly sure when we get off, how many stops, but I'm hoping they will tell us. So going back to the whole cost thing, this is $35 to ride this train, and presumably when we get on the next train, it could cost us another $35. So that's 70 bucks. And if the lift prices don't spike, a Lift XL from the end of the next train to the hotel will cost between $7 and $8. So we're looking at $77, $78, maybe $80, probably at the most for today's travels. That's with sort of minimal walking. The only walking we'll do is between the 2 train terminals while we're in DC. So let's hope that there's not going to be a lot of rain during that section right when we get off of this train to walk to the next station. Hopefully that part, that's the only unknown right now, so we'll see how that goes. Do you have anything to add? How's your experience so far?
It's fine. It just, the rain's kind of got our bags a little wet. It's part of the adventure.
But the rain also helped the temperature cool down a lot.
Yeah. We were worried about Yoda because now she's in a pet carrying backpack.
Yeah.
So this is a better day for travel for her. So it is cooler.
For sure. But it's not like we were gonna leave her in any kind of heat anyway. She'll be wherever we are.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find some cool scenery through these train windows. Slight change of plans after reevaluating our situation. We're one stop away from Union Station in Washington, D.C. That's going to be the end of this line. When we get off of there, I noticed that it was a 1.2 mile walk or a lift ride from there to the next train station where the other train where we need to catch goes down to Alexandria. And it was gonna cost like $9 on Lyft. Whatever the train ticket cost will be for the next train will probably be not worth it because we'll have to take yet another Lyft once we get there. So just between the two lifts, we're talking about like $15 to $20. And then I just looked to see what it would cost for a Lyft to take us from Union Station directly to the hotel in Alexandria, and that was gonna be like $35. So it just makes more sense to go directly from Union Station and take a Lyft and have the Lyft driver drive us there. So that's what we're gonna do.
Are you sure?
We're figuring all this out, all these different options out on Google Maps. You can say, I want to walk, I want to ride a bike, I want to drive, or I want to take public transportation. Really confusing to look at first because you don't know. There's a little train icon, a little bus icon, and there's other different like colors and different, every city's got its own different like transit system. So unless you're familiar with your particular city that you're in, it's really difficult to figure it all out until you get there. And once you get there, then it makes sense. Okay, now this icon is for the MARC train, which is what we're on. And this icon is for Amtrak, that's what we're on. This icon is for their Department of Transportation bus system, that's what they're on. So now we're starting to figure it out when we're actually on one of these transportation units. So it's helpful, but it'll take a little getting used to with a little learning curve. There's that. That's how we're doing it, if you're wondering. One thing to note, though, about Google Maps and using that to pick your public transportation is that it doesn't tell you the price. So there's no easy way to figure out which method is cheaper, because obviously there's a whole bunch of different ways to get from one place to another using public transportation. So you still have to actually go to the station, go to the ticket counter, or go to the ticket machine and figure out the whole cost. There's just no way around that. You guys coming?
Yeah.
Is there only 2 backpacks? Union Station. This is where the train ends. We just got off of the MARC train. Now we're gonna go up, try to find a lift to take us all the way to our hotel in Alexandria. Hopefully, they haven't gone on a surge pricing yet. Okay, we're now in the middle of Washington, D.C. Just got off the train, came out of the Union Station terminal. We're gonna try to figure out how to get a lift to pick us up. By the way, you can also get Lyft from within Google Maps, which is kind of neat. And I think Uber has like an integration versus Lyft just gives you like an estimate on price, takes you to the app to actually book a trip. 6 people, $31.66. Do it. Here we go. It is a Hyundai Veracruz coming. There's a lot of clouds. I mean, look at those big puffy clouds all over us. We're like in a clearing with clouds all the way around us, so it's not raining right now while we wait, which is nice. If we didn't have all of our stuff and Yoda with us, we could go do some sightseeing today. It's because the Capitol is right there, and actually today is when they're doing the John McCain's body is actually in the Capitol building right now as we speak. And I don't know if it's going to be for just today or if it's going to be there for longer, but
It's a big fire truck.
yeah. Big fire truck? I wonder what's happening. When you don't have the rain and you don't have the clouds, it's hot. Here at the new hotel where we're going to be staying for 14 days, and then after we leave here we stay 2 days at another hotel closer to the airport where we're going to be at, and then hop on an airplane and go to Europe. For now we're going to apparently get very familiar with this place for the next 14 days. We haven't spent 14 days anywhere in a row. And we are in the room. Finally. It was a long travel day. It'll be a good base for us to kind of venture out from here. For now, we're gonna unpack our stuff and try to make this place feel like home for a few days.